Hello?
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm good. Last week we did poetry, right? And we finished off with that.
Yes.
Okay. Um, I think we just looked at poetry in general. Did you want to take a look at any specific poems?
Yes, please. I can send
Okay,
them now in the group.
awesome. Sounds good. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
How are you? Oh wait, you're not writing exams yet. Those are next month. Mm, how many poems do you have to do?
We have three.
Oh, okay. Not so bad.
Yes.
Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. And have they given you any notes or anything? Like, do you have anything in terms of that um they've given you or nah?
Yes, I'm sending it now as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So they've given you quite a lot. That's very nice.
Yes.
Then we can work. Have you gone through them or?
We've gone through the last poem that I'm gonna send.
Oh, okay. So do you want to start with the one that you have off, like that you've gone through a little bit more? Or do you want to check out the ones that you haven't really looked at?
Could we check out the ones that we haven't looked
Okay,
through?
sweet. We'll do that then.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mother to Son, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, and you're sending through one more, right?
Yes.
Cool.
It's called Station, so this one we have gone through.
Okay, cool. How are you feeling about that one? You understanding everything?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. So maybe we'll just do like a little run through of that one at the end.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Mother to Son, and then we have on Jennifer's Tigers. I think let's maybe we start with this Mother to Son one because that one seems to have a few more notes than the others. So we'll just go through that and check what they have going on there.
Okay.
Mm, okay. Maybe like let me see. Maybe if I send this to myself and then I screen share it, maybe it'll be a bit easier.
Okay.
Um, mm, okay. Let's see if the emails have gone through. Oh gosh, this thing is taking its time to load. Okay, there we go. Um, I'm gonna try screen share. I can figure out how to do that. um, oh, there's literally a giant share button, and I'm looking everywhere else. Um, gosh, this thing is being slow. Okay. Um, um, my screen is doing some weird things. Are you able to see?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So you're also looking at this weird loading screen.
Yes.
I don't know why Teams things are showing at the bottom. My word. It looks like it's completely malfunctioned, but it's fine. Let's leave it load and do its thing. Um, okay, wait, there should be. Okay, there we go. Okay. Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Uh, what in the world? Okay. Well, son, I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's it's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor. Sorry, wait, is it big enough for you? Must make it a bit bigger.
Oh no, it's okay.
Okay, cool. Okay. Um, it's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare, but all the time it's been a climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light, so boy, don't you turn your back. Oh, sorry, and so boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you finds it's kinda hard. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey. I still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Okay, interesting. So tell me, what do you notice about the poem at first glance? Like, through the first read, like,
Um, so it's basically about like a mom and she's like talking to her son and she's
mm-hmm,
sort of like she's talking about something that's like obviously happened to her in the past and maybe like
mm-hmm,
I don't know, she's sort of like warning him in a way
yes.
about something and I don't know, like
Oh,
just
maybe not.
like
I wouldn't say it's a warning per se.
okay,
Um, I think it's kind of like a don't give up sort of poem.
okay,
Because it says, so boy, don't turn your so boy, don't turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey, still climbing. So like she's saying there's like obstacles in the way and all of that,
Yes.
there's tacks in the road, splinters, boards, whatever. But just because life gets a little hard, don't, start going back down the stairs. Don't, just sit down and take it, you got to keep
Yes, she's
going,
like
keep trying.
encouraging him.
Yeah. Okay. What do you notice about the structure?
Um, maybe like certain words that she uses,
Mm-hmm.
like life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
What about it?
Um, maybe I don't know, she's sort of using like a monologue in a way, and
Okay, wait. Let me pause you for a second. I asked like about the structure. So like the first thing you want to maybe look at is how is the poem laid out? How many lines is it? How many stanzas is it? Is there a rhyme scheme? Things like that, you know?
okay.
All right. So so like now with that, like what can you tell me about the structure of the poem and why do you think the poem is like that?
Um, maybe mm, I'm not too sure.
Okay. So let's start baby steps, right? So okay, so the poem seems to be three stanzas, right?
Yes.
Okay, so start there. Then lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so three stanzas, 20 lines. Um, it seems to be a free verse. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of rhyme to it, right? And then also the another interesting thing about the structure of it is that the lines themselves are very irregular in length, right? They're kind of like all over the place.
Yes.
There's long ones, there's short ones. And now if we have to look at those things, right, and the context of the poem, you know, what connections can you make? Oh, do you want to take a crack at it, or should I tell you what I think?
Um, I don't know, maybe like with the different, like the lens,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's more like, I don't know, like she's having sort of like a conversation with him.
Okay, maybe it makes it seem more conversational. I think what I would maybe go for is like the the different lengths kind of make it feel like irregular. The fact that there's no rhyme scheme or anything like that. Um, so all of that combined, it makes it feel very irregular. It makes it feel like the obstacles that she's had through her life. Her life has been irregular. There's been ups and downs, you know, that kind of
Yes.
vibe. So the poem itself in its structure is reflecting the structure of her life in a way.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, do you notice any figures of speech, any interesting things to take note of, poetic devices, etc.?
Um, maybe like an extended metaphor
Mm,
of like life itself, like being the staircase.
yes. She's kind of comparing it to a different type of staircase. Like, like, yeah, it's not a crystal staircase, but it's like, kind of this broken up one with all these splinters falling apart kind of staircase. Very good.
Yes.
Anything else?
Maybe like the use of like repetition in like I'll see or I see still going, I see still climbing. Like maybe putting stress on like the mother's struggles and like weariness of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I think it's also if you're talking about repetition, if you look at and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor, and then and reach and turn in landings and turn in corners and sometimes going in the dark. Um, you see, they use a lot of that repetition at the beginning of the sentences, and it's almost like even with the I still going, I still climbing, it kind of has this accumulative effect. It's building up. It's like creating this image, but it's also like stacking it up, making it seem almost overwhelming, almost like too much, like, and this and this and this and this. It's like showing this continuity, this continuous, struggle in a way,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yes.
And okay, in relation to what I just said, what do you notice about the punctuation in some places?
Um for the punctuation, maybe like because was like the line, don't you sit down on the steps. She uses like enjambment,
Mm?
and then sort of like her idea goes into the next line. And
Mm?
then like some of the
Oh,
lines,
wait, why? What's important about that?
maybe it's to like she has the same idea in like both lines.
Mm,
But I don't know, like she takes sort of like a breath in a way or like a pause.
not really, because it's in German, so it's continuing. Because there's no punctuation really in that line. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it's kind of hard.
Okay.
So
So maybe
maybe
she's like creating a sense of like a flow
yes,
or like something like continuous in the lines.
yeah. So like if you look at it, it's don't sit down on the steps because you find it's kind of hard. So, she's telling him, don't just stop, don't just sit down and give up. So the line is continuing in the same way she's telling him to continue. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. What else do you notice about the punctuation?
Um maybe maybe like for the line where it says and places with no carpet on the floor, bare, and then she puts like a full stop at the end of that, maybe to put like emphasis on it.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, um, sorry, do you think, wait, is that supposed to be like a dash or something at the end there?
Um
That's a bit of, wait, let me take a look at a different version of the poem.
because it's the same on my screen.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure.
Let me check what other versions look like to see if that's. Yeah, it's supposed to be a dash. I don't know why they made it like two dots. Every other version shows like a dash. Okay. So it's supposed to be a dash. Keep that in mind. Um, so it is kind of like it's good that you noticed that because like I mean if we look at the dash too, that's called end stopping. So it's like a punctuation at the end of the sentence. And it's also creating this sort of division, right? It's interesting that she continued her sentence on the next line, but like, that she used that dash to sort of separate the word bear. And bear is there on its own as well. Full stop. It shows that it's alone. So that's a combination of punctuation and structure that is kind of creating this idea that, like, it's showing how bare and barren it is, really, like how
Yes.
empty. Okay. Um, okay, let's see what else can I notice. Okay, and then another thing, the diction. What can you tell me about the diction?
Um, the diction. Maybe like like the diction sort of like mimics a conversation in a way. And mm,
Like, think about the type of words she uses, the slang. Does it like, what is the reason for that? Does it affect the way you read the poem?
mm, maybe maybe like the words that she uses, like for
Mhm.
example where she says the part about the tacks, the splinters, and like the boards torn up.
Yeah,
Maybe she could be like referencing to like sort of the struggles or like the hurdles of like life itself.
definitely. That's definitely what that's about, but that doesn't really answer the question that I'm asking.
Mm,
So, like, okay, so where's she using slang? Or like, where's the language kind of different?
maybe where she says the last line of the first paragraph.
Okay, yeah, I's been a climbing on. And then in addition to that, things like reaching landings, turning corner, turning, going, uh, then what else? Because you find it's kinda harder. Sorry, because you find it's kinda hard. Um, for I still going, I still climbing, all of those, like all these, all these places where she's shortening words, using slang. It affects the rhythm of the poem. It affects the way you read the poem. It
Yes.
makes it feel like you're speaking with an American accent, right?
Yes.
It's pushing you to sort of speak the way this woman would be speaking from the place that she comes. I just looked it up now. It seems like the author is from Missouri. So this is obviously trying to mimic the way that people speak in that place. Using slang, for example, eyes. That's probably slang from the area. So it's kind of it's making it, I mean, if you want to talk about being conversational, yeah, like, it's making it seem more real in the way that they're speaking, in the way that she's speaking. It's kind of making you see how it's trying to make it more casual, right? Because
Yeah.
she's talking to her son. It's a casual sort of relationship,
Yes.
um, personal relationship. So he's really trying to create that vibe with the diction, with all the slang that is being used. Okay. Do you see like what I was looking for?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Don't use it down. Okay. I think okay, so let's maybe go to the other I mean to the documents that you sent me, just in case there's anything I missed or yeah. Um and then we'll go from there. Oh, okay, what is going on now? Okay. This thing is being very weird today. I don't know what is going on with my bar on the bottom of my screen. Strange stuff. Strange stuff. Okay, so here we have a summary of the poem. Okay, Langston Hughes, poem summary and analysis of mother to son. Okay. The mother says to her son that life has not been a crystal clear. Have you read through these things yet? No.
No.
Okay, cool. Then let's read through them together and see if there's anything we missed in our analysis. The mother says to her son that life has not been a crystal stair. It has had tacks and splinters and torn boards on it, as well as places without carpet. The stair is bare. However, she still climbs on, reaching landings, turning corners, and persevering in the dark when there is no light. She commands him, so boy, don't turn back. She instructs him not to go back down the stairs, even if he thinks climbing is hard. He should try not to fall because his mother is still going, still climbing, and her life ain't been no crystal stair. Okay. Analysis. These two poems, what? Okay, are not as widely anthologized, but are thematically similar in the way that Hughes expresses the disparity between the American dream and the reality for African Americans during the early 20th century. Hughes wrote, Mother to Son, but you see, that's also another reason that the speaking is also kind of important in the poem, like the diction that he used, because like it's it's reflecting as you see here, like it says the reality of African Americans during the early 20th century. So it's kind of reflecting the people from that place and reflecting these people's struggles, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's also another good thing that you could include if you get a question about the language and the diction and things like that. Um, Hughes wrote Mother to Son when he was 21 years old. He structures the poem as a conversation between a mother and a son. It is free verse and written in vernacular, meaning that it mimics the patterns of speech and diction of conversation. Okay, so yeah, I mean, even that conversational tone that you're talking about, again, it's enhanced by that manner of speaking in which he wrote it. Um, the mother begins by telling her son how hard her life has been. It has not been a crystal stair. Hughes then develops the metaphor of a staircase further as the mother describes the challenges in her life using symbols like tacks, splinters, uncarpeted floor, and dark unlit corners. She exhorts her son not to turn back because she never will. By using the metaphor of the staircase, Hughes alludes to Jacob's ladder. The mother character is on a difficult and arduous uphill journey, hoping that if she endures her struggles, she can eventually ascend to the highest promised land. Biblical imagery was quite common in autobiographical accounts of slavery and racial injustice during the early 20th century. The mother tries to help her son maintain his faith, as well as which will help him persevere through life struggles. The mother's voice in Mother to Son is similar to the voice of the poet in Dreams, who offers advice and hope for any of his readers who might be losing faith. Okay, I think something we need to check out. Do you know what they mean by Jacob's ladder?
No.
Okay, I think maybe let's check that out quickly so that you know
I've
what they're
heard of it
referring.
before.
Okay. It seems like it's some sort of biblical reference that they're alluding to in terms of the stairs. It's probably some sort of Bible story to do with
I think it is in the Bible.
yeah. Um okay, so content, the ladder of Jacob is based on the biblical dream of Jacob in Genesis. Chapter 1 is an expansion of the narrative of Genesis. Jacob falls asleep and sees a ladder set up on the earth. The top of it reaches to heaven with angels ascending and descending on it. It signifies the bridge between heaven and earth. Okay. So that's so it's also like it seems that maybe the poem has like it's not just about her encouraging him, not just about like don't give up with life and stuff, but also encouraging him to have faith and kind of believe in his faith and God and all that as he ascends, like kind of using that to give him strength in a way.
Okay.
Um so yeah, it's like a little bit of both, like and they're just using stairs instead of a ladder. Um okay. In Hugh's poem Mother to Son, a mother advises her son that he will face many adversities in life and yet he must overcome them and keep going. The mother compares the journey through life to ascending a staircase. She says that for her life has not been a staircase made of crystal. Also, the crystal thing is very important to think about because it's like, you might have to make a comparison between the two staircases. One is like boarded up, it's, falling apart, cracks, splinters. Then the crystal staircase, crystal is associated with affluence and wealth, and like people will have crystal glasses and things like that. And it's smooth in comparison and
Yeah.
clear and beautiful, and she is kind of making that comparison, especially considering the time it was written, and he's referencing a struggle, making this comparison.
Yes.
um oh, okay. Rather, it has been quite rough, with protruding nails and pieces of wood jutting out, boards torn up, and places where the carpet was missing. However, she has kept climbing through landings, corners, darkness, in spite of such discomforts. She then asks the boy to walk in her footsteps and keep moving forward without turning back or giving up because he finds the journey arduous. She wants him to take inspiration from the fact that she is still going and steady despite life's hardships. And also, what is good about this poem is like she's not just saying, "Oh, don't give up." She's actually giving an example through herself of how she didn't give up.
Yes.
Critical analysis. The anonymous mother in the poem may be suggestive of the African American woman of pre-Depression America, encouraging their sons to strive for success. The poem is written in the form of dramatic monologue in Black dialect. So with dramatic monologue, yeah, I think you also mentioned it sounds a bit like a monologue earlier.
Yes.
So yeah, because it does sound like she's the only one speaking. She's giving advice to her son. So it's written in that way for a reason. The idiomatic style of the speech is invoked in the context of the courage, endurance, and sense of duty of the African American race. The language also imparts a charged colloquial element to the poem. So the colloquial bit is talking about obviously the dialect and the way she's speaking, very informal. The theme of the poem is perseverance. As the poem opens with, "Well, son, I'll tell you," it is possible that the son has asked or said something before to which she is responding. Okay, yeah, that's a good point because yeah, it does sound like, maybe a response to something he said. We don't hear the other side of the conversation. We're hearing her response. And also another thing that I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention is here, well, son, I'll tell you. Um, the oh my wish, my word, I just went blank. The the colon. Um sorry. Um, that's also an interesting piece of punctuation that they used there. It almost feels like now it's like setting up a list. Because she does kind of list all the things that are going wrong, all the obstacles.
Yes.
Um, so that's also an important thing to note in terms of the punctuation. And it's also end stopping. Okay. Well, some else. Okay. In the next line, she says that her life ain't been a crystal stair. The use of the word ain't indicates the mother is not a learned person, and crystal stair is symbolic of smoothness, beauty, and luster. Tacks, splinters, boards torn up suggest hurdles of life. The tacks are nails and splinters are small fragments of wood which make it hard for the person to step. Boards turn up. Some may symbolize unsteady or rough grounds leading to uncertainty in the person's mind. Bear suggests scant furnishings. Eyes been climbing on, reaching landings, turn and corners suggest movement and therefore signifies an ascent that is inspiring, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light makes the poem a story of dark times. The dilapidated staircase is also representative of the poor living conditions of the Black Americans under the tyranny of the whites. Okay. So are you good so far, understanding everything?
Yes.
Awesome. The poem is suggestive of the effect of racism and oppression on the lives and experiences of the Black Americans. However, this piece of advice from mother to son has a universal quality, as it can be read as an advice from any mother to any son, anywhere in the world, without keeping the historical background in mind. So that is also an interesting point because, like, you can tell that it's like you can tell that it has this element of, it's from a particular place and things like that due to the dialect. However, the advice is universal. The advice can be applied to anyone. A lot of mothers would talk that way to their children. Don't give up. You need to pursue things. You need to, keep going, kind of thing. So it is a universal message that isn't just, bound to a certain culture or race or anything like that, even though it is linked to that and that is probably where it's coming from, but it's written in a way in which a lot of people could resonate with it. You know, it's like
Yes.
a, yeah, universal sort of experience in the advice it's giving. Um, in the next 5 lines, the mother urges her son not to turn back or sit down on the steps or fall when he recognizes life for the never-ending drudgery that it truly is. She does not want him to lose courage and start descending or get tired, sit down to rest and not resume climbing. She also does not want him to fall, which may mean literally tumbling down the steps, unable to take the pressure. Or it may be associated with the biblical fall, which in this context may mean resorting to criminal activities and unfair means to accomplish his ends. Okay, so I didn't think about it in that way, but that's another way to look at it. That like him falling could mean like, falling from success, sort of falling
Yes.
into bad patterns. In the last 3 lines, she reveals her own strength and perseverance as she says, I still going, honey, I still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. She tries to pose as a role model for the boy and instills strength and courage in his mind that'll help him undertake life's tedious journey in the best possible way. Poetic devices. The poem is written in free verse and has a lyrical quality due to the idiomatic language used by the poet. The poetic devices involved in the poem is the extended metaphor of life being a staircase. Well done, you noticed that quite well. um, the central image of the poem is the crystal stair. It echoes the biblical story of Jacob's ladder. The stairway may be seen as path to freedom and liberation, which was the goal of the African Americans. To represent the struggle of the mother, Hughes uses images of tack, splinter, boards, and carpet. So yeah, the poem, although it's an extended metaphor, it does use a lot of imagery as well in order to show that extended metaphor. Um, the mother teaches that he should never collapse under the pressures that life puts him through. Hughes uses repetitions in don't you turn back, don't you sit down on the steps, because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now to emphasize the mother's anxious expectation of her son. She wants him to be tenacious like herself. He uses repetition in I still going, I still climbing, once again putting stress on the mother's struggles and weariness. The image of the crystal stair is repeated in the last line to accentuate again the perpetual toil to achieve goals and fulfillment. Okay, so I think there was a lot that was kind of repeated, like in similar to what we said there. But so let's also take a look at the slides. Do you have any questions so far?
No, I don't.
No. Okay, you're understanding everything and you
Yes.
feeling like you could analyze it.
Yes.
Great. We'll just give this. Okay, there we go. Langston Hughes. Wait, what's this? Is that a video? Or no, I think it's just a picture. Okay. Okay. Colloquial opening in mid-conversation suggests that the son may have asked a question. Ain't equals dialect. What is the impact of the representation of, sorry, of the repetition of and? We did speak about that. Do you remember the when at the beginning when sentences are beginning with the same word or the same phrase over and over again, what figure of speech is that?
When the
When a sentence is when multiple sentences are using the same word at the beginning or the same phrase. So, and splinters and boards and places. There's
mm,
like a very specific one. Like you could say repetition, but if they want you to be more specific, there is one word that you can use.
I can't remember because I was gonna say
Okay.
repetition.
It's anaphora.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me
Um,
just write that down.
have you heard of that one?
I've heard of it.
Okay. Um, oh wait. Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
spell it?
So it's Anaphora.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's that one. And then let's carry on. Um, okay, but all the time I've been a climbing on and okay, wait. Identify features of the dialect in the stanza. We've already done that. Can you spot the extended metaphor? You've done that. What is the function of the apostrophe in the stanza? Mm. Oh, okay. So what's the function of the apostrophe in like reach and turn and things like that? And Landon's, all those apostrophes.
Oh, the function of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, maybe like maybe it's like trying to think of the word.
No problem. Um, while you think, can I just run to the bathroom quickly?
Yes, no
All
problem.
right, I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. So, did you
Okay.
manage to come up with something?
I think it's like, I don't know if I'm right, but like the apostrophe is to show, is to sort of like show, I want to say like possession.
No, it's the other
No.
one. It's contraction
Oh,
because it would be reaching, turning, going,
yes.
landings. So it's apostrophe of contraction. So because she's shortening the words to make it more slang, to make it more like that specific dialect that she's using.
Yes.
All right. Um, okay. So, yeah, I mean, like the apostrophe of possession would be more if like it's mine, like it would be more like uh my boy's dog or like,
Yes.
yeah. So, yeah, just make sure to know your different apostrophes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, what part of speech are all of the underlined words? What does the choice of this particular form of the word suggest about the speaker? Uh,
What is the underlined word?
I think it's talking about the ones that are in oh, okay, I see what it is. Okay. All right. It's all the green words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what part of speech are those green words? And yeah, I think we know what the that form of word suggests about the speaker because we've already spoken about that. But yeah, what part of speech is? Do you need some assistance?
Could it be like the part of speech? Could you say it's like a present participle of like the verb reach, for example, for like reaching?
Okay. I think okay, wait, look, I might be wrong, but I don't think I mean I think you might be overthinking it a bit. It's just verbs.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I mean, yeah, maybe it's like a present participle, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you can indicate that too if you like, but yeah, I think it's just looking for the for the fact that it's a verb.
Okay.
Um, okay. So yeah, that's just what it is. And then like, yeah, obviously the contractions are making it more casual, showing that the speaker is, yeah, from a particular culture and particular yeah, all like everything about like her social sort of standing. What is the tone of the poem? Does it change at any point? That's a good question. Mm, let's look at the poem. What tone does it have, and does it change?
Mm. Could you say like it has like a very determined or like sort of like a resilient tone
Hmm.
with like a bit of hope in like a sense.
Mm, I mean, she's giving hope, but like, I feel like that's more part of the message than the tone.
Okay.
And okay, do you think that it changes at all?
Mm, I wouldn't say it changes because like throughout the poem, she's like very determined on like what she's talking about.
Okay. Um, I would say that it does change. Um, I think in the first half of the poem, she's rather kind of matter of fact. Like, listen here, son, life is gonna do this and this and this and this. She's very blunt, straightforward. The tone is like very like matter of fact sort of thing, right?
Yes.
But then I think it changes to sort of demanding in a way. Like, yes, the poem as a whole is kind of like inspirational and everything, but like that last bit, like it can be inspiring and demanding at the same time. Because like where there ain't been no light. So, boy, don't you turn back. Don't sit down on the steps because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey. I still climbing, and for the life of me, sorry, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. So it's like, don't do this, don't do that, don't give up. It's kind of like that, like, it's still inspiring, but she is saying like she's giving demands.
Yes.
Okay. Um, oh, okay, there. I think it's okay. Oh gosh. There's a, there was this bar at the top for like the mic and cameras and things or whatever. And every time I'm trying to change my tabs, it's in the way. Okay. Identify features of the dialect in the stanza. Okay, I think we're okay with that. Compare this with the staircase with which the speaker has had to contend during her lifetime. Okay, we already did that. All right, so I think we've covered quite. There aren't any more slides. We've gone through the analysis. Um, I think, yeah, we've gone through it. Do you think that there's any questions that you have? Anything that's, you know, you're not feeling with the poem? Anything you want to clarify? Anything you disagree with what I said?
um, let me think. Maybe
No, I have another question for you, but I'll ask you just now.
okay. Could they ask us about like the title of it?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. Okay, so Mother to Son. Okay, so what do you think of the title? Like, why do you think the poem was given this particular title? What's significant about it?
Maybe hmm, maybe from like the title, it sort of like establishes like the speaker's role and
Mm-hmm.
like
That's nice.
maybe like it sets like the stage basically for like the poem's central theme
Hmm.
and like
Yeah, I think that's good. And it's
okay,
like, yeah, no, it's showing like it's a conversation between a mother to her son. It also shows like, I mean, it's like mother to son. So, you know, um I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like, how that people will use the saying like have a let's have a chat man to man or like, like some
yes,
mother to son. So like, she's saying something to him as well. Like that's what it feels like. This is coming from the mother to her son, advice from her to him, but
yes,
it's also, kind of putting them on the same playing field in a way. Like, you're growing up, I'm a grown up. We need to have this talk, you know, or
okay.
kind of vibe. But yeah, what you were saying is correct. And then my last question. So it kind of has it's sort of similar to the thing about the anaphora, but what's the effect of the commas used at the end of these three lines here?
Which three lines?
Oh, sorry, the lines 3 till 6.
Okay. Mm, so with like the commas,
Yeah.
mm, obviously it's like to indicate like a small break in between like each sort of like each sort of thing that she's talking about, sort of just to like put the emphasis in like each thing that she's talking about, and
Mm.
like maybe
I mean, could we also say that it also has a bit of a stacking effect? You know,
yes,
it's not a full stop, right? It's not like the one where it says bear where it just kind of stops there. The commas, although it might be a slight pause, it's still indicating a continuation. It's creating a listing, a stacking. It's building up in the same way that using the word and is also sort of building up, stacking one on top of the other, showing all the problems and having that accumulative effect.
yes.
Okay. So this poem seems to do that quite a bit. Um, yeah, okay. So I think that we've gone through this quite nicely. Next time we'll go through the other one. We'll go through the one with the tigers.
Okay,
And yeah, but I'll see you next week. Have a great rest of the day, and let me know if you have any questions that come up about any of the poems or anything. Okay.
okay, I will.
All
Enjoy the
righty.
rest of your week.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.